cool backdrop.
And
Actually,
it's
I think you can.
kind of interesting because you've got the guitars all on the one side, which is really cool.
And all the diaper boxes back there. Very cool.
Well, hey, it's real life. It's coffee time. Coffee time with my neighbor, Callie.
Cheers.
Cheers. I have the coolest neighbors in all of Nanaimo.
Yes.
Yeah, pretty much. As do you, because I'm your neighbor.
Humble neighbors.
Dear God, there's another one dead. Can't fight all the thoughts in my head. TikTok does the sound of your life. Gunfire as I sharpen my knife.
You're singing. Let's find out where that started.
Okay, well, for music, I think I've always been musical. My dad is really musical. Never like anything bad about my dad or anything like that. He just wasn't really around, so I didn't really have his influence directly. But I did know that he played music, and my mom's always been really interested in music, but isn't a musician herself. And she put me in guitar lessons with my guitar teacher, Jim Blair, when I was 6. And I always loved going to guitar lessons, but never practiced because I was 6.
You were 6.
Right?
Yeah.
But eventually, by the time I continued guitar lessons, the half-hour lesson every week, up until I was about, I think when I was 15 is when I really got into it. And then I don't know, my mom introduced me to Green Day, and I was like, Green Day. Yeah, so I just wanted to learn Green Day songs all day long, and that's when I started sort of dabbling in like singing along. Like I never ever thought of myself as a singer. Like I still don't consider myself to be like this amazing talented singer. Like you hear some people, you're like, you can tell they were like half born with that and then took that and worked with it. But
okay, I gotta stop you right there. Okay, like you hit those higher notes and you hit them perfectly.
Stop it.
I know, no, but my music teacher would be like, exactly right, technique.
Well, thank you, but like I really, really work hard on things that I perform, like in order to get there, and I feel like the amount I work to get to it is like too much for what it is. You know, like it doesn't seem like a payoff, but thank you very much. Okay. But anyway, so when I was like, I think when I was 16 is when I had my first singing lesson, and I kind of did singing lessons on and off, but continued with guitar lessons. Guitar was always my very favorite, and I worked really hard at guitar, and I would like rip intense solos. When I was 16, I was when I was like at my peak guitar level skills, and then I worked at KFC Taco Bell in the north end of Nanaimo.
There's a career.
Yeah, there's a career. And they were not super up to code on a lot of their things, and I ended up dicing my fingers in a tomato dicer. They're kind of like wonky shaped now.
Oh!
Yeah, and they're like, in comparison to these, like they're just kind of like bent.
You can't get them. Oh, yeah. I see. Okay.
Yeah, so ever since then, they've had like this arthritis in them and stuff, and I haven't really gotten my skill right back up to where it was.
Never fully recovered.
It never really fully recovered, and I don't want to make excuses because I totally could get back to it. It just takes a little bit more work, especially after having a baby. Yeah. That took up 24/7. So I'm just really rusty, but I'd like to get back to where I was when I was 16 as far as guitar skill level goes.
Well, I'm gonna have to do a follow-up interview in 6 months, and then you can play guitar, okay?
Ooh, that's a good goal. Gives me something to work towards. Yeah.
There you go. That's definitely the goal.
Yeah, like Crazy Train and stuff like that.
September
sounds good.
Okay.
September. I'll work on a solo.
Yay! Okay, good. Perfect. Fine. Like it's interesting when you're an artist and you write music as well. Do you find that it's hard to get motivated and you feel like it needs to be the muse or this creative moment where it's just free, or do you feel like, okay, no, I'm just going to write a song? Like, how do you deal with that?
Yeah. That's a good question. I haven't written my own songs since I was in my first band, which was Systematic Dream. When I played guitar and I wrote the songs and I sang lead as well in that band. So I was the only one who wrote. So I kind of had like, I don't know, a duty, I guess, to like, I needed to make content for our band to perform.
You were a teenager when you were doing that then?
Yeah, when I was 16. So, okay, when I was 15, right before I turned 16, I had my very first boyfriend. We started our own little band, but like, of course, we were 16 by the time we really started dating. And we only dated for like, I don't even remember, like maybe 2 months.
Yeah, that sounds about right for 16.
Right? So like as soon as we broke up, he was, I got a call like a couple weeks later, like, so we don't really need you in the band anymore. And I was like, yeah, I know. I don't really consider that my first band. We would get together and like jam,
Okay, yeah.
And the drummer from that band contacted me a little while later and was like, these guys aren't serious about music. They suck. Let's make our own band. So he jumped in, and that's when Systematic Dream sort of formed. So it was me and my BFF, Phil, at the time. And then from there, we got Taylor, and Taylor was awesome. And he would come in and do the majority of like the lead and all that. And I would do rhythm because I was singing too. So I couldn't really do a lot of the fancy stuff while I was singing.
Yeah.
But I made room for my own little solo sections in some of the songs.
Well, good.
But we just like, I don't know, we had a lot of freedom in that band, and I would just write music and I would let Taylor do his thing and I'd let all the other guys do their thing. Like they knew their instruments, but I would write the majority of it, the lyrics and the vocal melody and my rhythm guitar melody or whatever. And they would just do their thing and add to it. And it was always really fun.
Did you perform then, or did you mostly jam?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Phil was our drummer, and he was also like our band manager,
Okay.
So he got us all of our gigs. Like we played at the VIX, and we'd play at all these music festivals and stuff, like small Nanaimo music festivals.
I'll let you start bright first. I wanna break your heart, watch you fall apart, day by day.
We had our EP all recorded. We had the artwork all figured out. We had t-shirts. We were ready to go do a release show. And Phil was he was eating, I remember it, he was eating Cinnamon Toast Crunch out of a McDonald's cup.
Okay. Sounds like a band thing to
milk.
Do. Yep.
And he was like, hey guys, so I just like don't want to be a drummer anymore. So I'm kind of like quitting the band. And I was like, no, my band, my very first band, they're all breaking up with me. It's over. And I was so upset. But the band fell apart after that.
Aww.
So Systematic Dream was
where
no
did
more.
the EP go?
It's just like around. We never got anything printed. We have the files. 4 of them are the ones that I wrote, and one of them, called Choose to Wear Shoes, was written by Taylor, our other guitar player.
A little crazy.